right, everybody, welcome back again to the KSR YouTube channel. It's time to dyno the Chevy 2. Now I admit, I was hoping to get to this earlier today. It is a little bit after 7 o'clock, and the plan was to dyno it by noon and be at the track right now with it to make some test hits with it, just launch it to 60 foot. Still doesn't have a windshield in it, but took longer to get the wastegate dumps made, and we finished mounting the radiator and a bunch of other little things we decided to go through. But just temporarily put some straps on it for now. We're going to make something that also ties straight down on the radiator, but it's in there solid enough to even go launch it at the track. But that's not where we ended up. But ooh, got washed out by the light. You can see we kind of rolled everything out. We had Soccer Mom on the dyno, just shoved it out. Had another car. The Miata was all in there, and the Firehawk. We just had stuff everywhere. But now, it's time to dyno the Chevy 2. So, here we go. Big long trip to the dyno here at KSR. It's time to see if we can make a little bit of horsepower.
Got one.
All right, well, we are strapped onto the dyno. I was welding up the last downpipe for the wastegate while they were strapping the car on the dyno. See, we got our wastegate dumps snuck down in there, still trying to leave room for the tires. Not gonna lie, it is jammed together in this car. Everything is super tight. The wastegates are eventually gonna dump out the side of the car, similar to the race exhaust, but they will just always dump out the side of the car. The wastegates come open while you're on the street, it'll just be loud, but only while you're making boost, so it's not a big deal. It's time for me to get to work on the keyboard. All right, well, the first thing is we're gonna roll everything to center the straps up. I actually need to verify timing on the engine to make sure the real timing in the engine matches what I think is in the computer. Typically, LS's with the 58X crankshaft are pretty close, but always verify it, because if it's not right, you might blow something up and not know why. I mean, even when you do blow stuff up, sometimes you don't know why, but race cars. All right, fire and hold. bit of driving, and everything looks pretty happy with my base tune. It's only correcting 4 to 5%, which I'm pretty happy with. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pull up to probably 5,000 or so just on wastegate spring. Hopefully it makes 4 or 5 pounds of boost, maybe. We'll see. And then we'll start working up from there. That was 404 horsepower at only 5,000 RPM, 444 foot-pounds of torque. Nothing crazy. I had rescaled the timing for my boost flop when I'm flopping the fuels, and I forgot to put some timing back in it at low boost. So that was no timing in the motor. Now granted, this low of boost, it's on pump gas, so I'll keep the timing very conservative. And then once we flip to the alcohol, we'll start really giving her some power. But this pull should show quite a bit better. I'm going to take the RPM out to probably 6,000, 6,500, as long as everything looks good. Here we go. Still climbing.
Sounds so lazy.
It's got a 340 gear in it, or 350 gear in it, and a 30-inch tall tire. That was 160 miles an hour. Yeah, and that was only 6,200 RPM, 6,300 RPM. All right, that was 550 horsepower at less than 5 pounds of boost. Still no timing in it. Still climbing on the power. Doing what it's supposed to do. Make some changes, do another one. One of the reasons why the pulls seem so long, just because this car's got a 350 gear in it and a 30-inch tall tire. So at 7,500 RPM, the wheels are going to be going over 200 miles an hour. It's got a really, really, really long gear in it. We're going to put some shorter tires on it for LS Fest. It'd be nice if it had a little bit different gear, because it was front half a lot better at the racetrack. But that's what we got. Shawn wanted this thing to be able to cruise down the interstate, not need an overdrive unit, and it's going to do that easily. So let's make another pull. And it looks like we actually laid over on the power just a little bit. So that's what I was kind of hoping. Time to look at some more data, make some more changes. We're about to start adding some real boost to it. Yeah. Alright, so this pull, we're going to do something a little new. We're going to be flipping on a little bit of boost. We're going to try and make 10 pounds of boost. It also will transition into the alcohol at 8 pounds of boost. So it might do something a little weird because I've got to tune this transition into the alcohol. I've done what I think is going to work well, but I don't know that it's going to work well. We're going to find out. Use the data in the Holly to learn what we need to do. See if we can make 10 pounds of boost. Fire in the hole! Actually, 787. 10 pounds of boost. Dude, that was no RPM either.
That was quick.
Okay, my transition worked pretty good. Look at some data, do this again. Alright, so this pull is going to be the same 10 pounds of boost, but revved out. All the way to 7,000 RPM if everything looks good. I got to put some heat back in it because we went ahead and changed to a colder set of spark plugs. Because after 10 pounds of boost, I'm going to whack it with 15. Should make over 1,000. That'll probably be it for tonight, just because it's getting late. It's 10 o'clock already at night. We still have plenty to do on the car next week. And then get it loaded up for LS Fest. But so, put some heat back in it. Alright, we got our race fuel pressures raised up. Had it set pretty low for when we had the pump gas in the race tank. We drove to the gas station the other day. So we've got it turned up where we want it to be for the alcohol. Said this is going to be 10 pounds of boost all the way to 7,000 RPM. I expect it'll go 860 to 900. I'm still real conservative on timing, what I think is real conservative on timing. But ate the belt.
It's still good, it just ripped that rib off.
What was it? 911. Looks like 12. But the boost is surging, so I think I'm gonna have to tune the boost controller solenoids. Pretty good pull, right at 900 horsepower still on 10 pounds of boost. I got a lot of the wave out of it. We'll start stacking some more boost to it, but our belt is not very happy. So I'm gonna go ahead and call that for tonight. It's late, we're tired. Get back after it. We can think a little more clearly, but everything's pretty happy so far on the dyno. All right, so came back in next day after some good sleep. Did a lot of data analysis to see where, try and get rid of that surge in the boost. All right, here we go. So we gained quite a bit of boost early. You can see it picked up horsepower to match. Went from 10.1 to looks like 15 early. And where it did that, let's see, back here, 744 to 949. So it picked up 200 horsepower. Down here where it picked up 5 pounds of boost. So that's still 40 horsepower per pound of boost. It's pretty good with that. But up top, you can see the boost fell off a little bit to where it only picked up. So it only picked up 3.8 pounds of boost. And out the top, let's see, that's 130. 130 divided by 3.7. I can't do decimal fractions in my head. 130 divided by 3.7, so 35. So the dome pressure was even there, but for the boost to fall off at the top, shows we're just working the turbos a little harder. So we'll have to just add a little bit more boost as RPM goes up. But that's pretty good. I was hoping it would poke 1,000 right there, but it didn't. Had it carried the 15 pounds of boost all the way through the pull, would have gone over 1,000, but now we got to go over 1,000. Then I'm gonna call this done, head back over to get the car back over in the shop and do some more work on it. All right, this pull, I'm gonna turn it up a good bit. I mean a good bit. I'm gonna stack 7 more pounds of dome pressure on it. So should make another 5 pounds of boost, which should make another 160-ish horsepower. So let's see what happens. That was some good math. Pull the data log out. So I ramped it in up top so I didn't really load it up down on the bottom. You can see the boost curve, follow it down there on the bottom graph. So that was 22 pounds of boost. Picked up more than I thought it was going to for the dome pressure. All right, everybody, let's do a little bit of math, because I like math and I like data. So we went from, let's see, 1210 was our peak. Subtract 946 at that particular RPM. So 264. Picked up 8 pounds of boost. 264 divided by 8. Picking up 33. So at lower boost increases, like when we first put 5 pounds to it, it picked up 40 horsepower per pound of boost, and then as the boost goes higher and higher, you gain less horsepower per pound of boost. Still picking up over 30 per pound of boost. I'm pretty happy with that. Even if we figured that was 22 pounds of boost, we stacked 30 pounds of boost to this thing. So another 8 pounds of boost should pick up another 250 horsepower. Be flirting with 1500 at 30 pounds of boost, which I'm pretty happy with that. Time to take this thing to the track. See what it'll do there. Everything looks extremely happy. All right, so I'm gonna call this a wrap. Appreciate everybody watching and subscribing. See you guys next time.